What, bitch? Tell me.
Wait, someone needs to hear this.
Yo.
Hey everyone, happy Monday. Welcome back to Please Say It Again. You are live with your hosts, Sadie and Lily. It's another day, another week, another episode.
And that's on period, y'all. Welcome back.
Yes, a little disclaimer, I am in my car today, so if we hear any honk honk, beep beep, skirt skirt, like that's completely normal. We'll get into that later on as to why I'm in here. So, just a disclaimer, and I don't even know if this counts as a disclaimer, but me and Lily realized that we say like way too much.
like way too much.
But yes, that's our goal. Like, we're gonna, that's our goal.
Saying like.
Yes. But this week, we are switching it up here at Please Say It Again. I'm gonna, Lily, take this over. Go ahead, Queen. Tell us what we're doing.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I don't even know how to announce this because this literally just happened last night. We just decided to do this. Yeah, and it was so powerful. And obviously, like, as we tell what's going on, you will understand like why it's so powerful. But Please Say It Again is starting a brand new segment. We don't know how often we're going to do it. You know, we're just going to kind of see how you guys like it. But this segment is called Therapy Session.
Yes.
Period. Yeah, we're going to start doing this segment. It's called Therapy Session. And in Therapy Session, we are going to be talking about some real therapy ass shit. I'm sure you talk about with your fucking therapist.
Honestly, when we're going in.
Yes. And you know what? And also these therapy sessions are literally some you have with your best friends or with your close friends or with your family. So we're starting that. And it's gonna be powerful.
Yes, it really will be. I'm so excited. This week's topic for therapy session is, what is your breaking point? And when I say what is your breaking point, I mean in the sense of how far are you willing to go to achieve your dreams, to chase your goals until enough is enough? You know, like how far are you willing to push yourself, and how long are you willing to be uncomfortable?
Yes. And also, along with how long are you willing to push? Like, are you willing to withstand?
Yeah.
And how much do you believe in your dream that you know, even in the midst of all this shit, you will outcome to your dream?
Yep.
Like, the believing is, I think, one of the most important parts, especially in my sense. I think just you have to believe it until your last breath.
Yes. And on that note, like, I think just before we like hop in, hearing you say that made me think of, I listened to some guy talk about the difference between having faith and believing in something. And sometimes you can't really believe, because you hear people say like, oh my gosh, I didn't believe that would happen, or I couldn't believe that would happen. And that is true. But you can have faith in something. So if right now I am at a point where I'm like, in 2 years from now, like, I can't believe I would be on a really big show, right? But I have faith that I will be. You know what I mean? It's like that, you know? So even if right now you can't believe in something, have faith in something.
Exactly. I totally agree with that.
But moving forward, another thing we're switching up this week, along with, you know, this new segment. Instead of doing a quote of the week, we are going to do an oracle card of the week, and this will be just an overall message, an overall feel. If it resonates with you, amazing. If it doesn't, that's perfectly fine too. But just know that we are drawing this card with the intention of this is something that you need to hear this week, and hopefully you can get something out of it. So, Lily, will you pull a card for us?
Yes, I will. So I'm going to be pulling 2 cards for us. And the first one is from this small deck that I got from this cute little shop in Portland. It's called Sea Grape Apocryphy, I think. Something like that. I don't fucking know. But it's the cutest shop ever. And if you're local in Oregon, please go check her out. She was the sweetest person I've ever met. And also, I'm going to pull another card from a different deck, but I'll get to that once I get to it. Okay, so the first card that I pulled is called Bleeding Heart. Okay.
Ooh.
We're already starting off with a bang. And this one says, when the sun cracks open, the heart like a seed, nestled underground, supported by the rich compost of radical softness. Look inward to find a landscape of glided honeycomb saturated in hope, and meet the morning with a promise of tender authenticity.
Ooh, I like that.
I really like that. That sounds fucking beautiful.
And I kind of translate that as like finding the good in things.
Yeah.
Like even if something looks bad, even if like there's an exterior that's bad, the interior is beautiful.
Yeah, I think for me, reading it, like when it says, when the sun cracks open, the heart like a seed, it's like happiness that starts opening your heart. Like the sun is like your happiness, you know, and it's opening your heart from being so sad or like so overwhelmed or anything like that. And then I think when it says look inward to find a landscape of glided honeycomb saturated in hope, it's like look into your heart and find where you have the most hope and faith, like we were just talking about.
Yes.
Fucking beautiful is that.
So beautiful.
Okay. Next one, which isn't as detailed, but this one is a daily oracle book, and it's by Jericho Mandieber. I don't fucking know. You can get. I found this at Urban Outfitters. I found this at Barnes and Noble and like their spiritual aisle. So this one's pretty popular. Along with the card we just read that says Bleeding Heart, this one says, search your heart. You'll know what to do when the time comes.
Oh my gosh. I just love when the universe does that.
Like, the universe? Is that you?
For real. Like, okay.
Is that you?
Because you have 2 decks, like 2 different decks, and like I don't believe in coincidences. I don't think coincidences exist. Like everything happens because it was supposed to happen. It happened how it was meant to happen. And the fact that you picked 2 random things and they both had to do with your heart. So I think it's safe to say this week's message is kind of like dig within, follow your heart, and like your heart like knows what to do. And like from making that decision, you could like sprout something really big.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like that's definitely the message. I think also look into your heart, and when you're going through tough times, remember to look deep in your heart and find the reason why you are doing what you're doing, like where you are going, your final destination.
And that's on period.
And that's on please say it again.
Yes, like actually.
Actually. Okay. But I hope you guys like that little oracle stuff. We love that, and we cannot wait to do that again. And we are going to start our therapy session. So to begin, I'm going to hand this one off to my best friend, my ride or die, my twin flame, my soulmate, everything above, my motherfucking bitch and whore, Sadie.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a little bit of a whore. No, I'm kidding.
Y'all already know that.
But yes, I'm trying to think of a way, because what I'm talking about is very real. It's like in real time for me, and I would never want to come across as being ungrateful for anything that's going on or anything like that. So I'm just want to start that off with a disclaimer, because, I don't know who listens to this, and I don't want, someone to listen to it and take it the wrong way. So I don't mean this in any way towards anybody. There's no spite, there's no hate, there's nothing. I think what's so important about this therapy session is this is a safe space for me to come to and talk to my best friend and kind of just let things off my chest. And, your feelings are always valid. My feelings are valid. Whether or not anybody else agrees with them or not, my feelings are my feelings and they're valid. Your feelings are your feelings and they're valid. You should never let anybody invalidate your feelings at all. At the end of the day, like, they're your feelings. Like, they're your emotions. Like, you can't miss those. You know what I mean? But yes, so I guess I'll just start off by saying I moved to LA a little, 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
A little over 3 years ago. And I moved here to start school. And, my dream is to be an actress. And, I will say I am an actress. Like, I've done enough school and I've been in some projects. So I feel like I'm at a point where I can say I am an actress. And that will be, that's my, right.
You are.
That's my, yes. That's my dream career. That's something that, and when I say that, that's as my dream. Do I chase fame? No, not at all. Do I chase security? For me, being a successful actress for me is about being able to pay my bills and live comfortably.
Yeah,
with
comfortably. That's a weird ass word.
Comfortably, whatever the fuck that word is. With the money that I make from acting. And I would like that to be my full-time job. And obviously I know that, sometimes you're going to be doing projects, sometimes you're not. One of the biggest fears of an actor is getting a job and then not knowing when you're going to book another one. Mm-hmm. So, that's always that. But that's worth it because that's something that I have so much fun doing, and I can see myself doing that every single day. And it's not something that I have to pull myself out of bed and make myself go do. It's something that I am more than happy to do. Mm-hmm. So, and that had been my dream for a while, ever since I can remember. I've just always loved performing. That's just the tea. That's what I like doing. And so being able to make a living doing that is just amazing. It's an amazing thought to me. But making it to that point is really, really hard. Yeah. And, when I was younger, especially in high school before I moved, did I think it was going to be a little bit easier? Hell yeah. I would be lying to you if I said I knew it was going to be so hard. Yeah, I knew it was going to be a little bit difficult because, everyone always tells you that, you can't just be an actress. It's going to be hard. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of sacrifice. And yeah, I believe that anything that is worth doing, it's going to be hard and there's going to be sacrifice. But when I was younger, I was the performer in my town. I was the actress in my town. Growing up, I would never go to an audition or to a casting, and I was never told no, which I am very fortunate about. So when I came to LA, I thought that would carry over to LA and no one would tell me no, or I knew I was going to hear no sometimes, but not as much. And boy, have I heard a lot of no's. So many. Yeah. So many. And so that kind of sucks. Above all, I'm going to keep going forward because at the end of the day, they can tell me no, that's fine, but I'm still out here doing my thing. Exactly. So, I moved here, blah, blah, blah. I went to school and I had to leave school a year into it because it was just really expensive and I wasn't going to be able to afford it. So that was kind of hill number one. Yeah. Where I had to make a decision quick. Mm-hmm. Am I going to stay in LA and make this work, or am I going to go back to Oregon? And obviously I stayed in LA. We were able to make it work. My boyfriend really helped me with that. And I'm so grateful. I had a really good support system. Yes. So I was able to stay. I moved to South Central. I started working as a waitress at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Hollywood. That was an experience. For sure. One for the books. Right. And within that time, I got my first acting job with the Black Eyed Peas. I was in a music video. It was my big breakthrough. It was great. I thought I was a star. And that was a huge time in my life where I went to work. I had to work that night and go shoot in the morning, which was totally worth it. Like I couldn't just blow off work. And when I told them I couldn't come into work that weekend because, you know, I just got this really good opportunity, they were like, I don't know about that. Which is so weird because we're in Hollywood. You're hiring actors. Like you should, this happens.
Right.
And that's when I realized, you know what? Like I didn't move to LA to work at a restaurant. Like that's not what I moved here to do. So I had to make a decision, you know, within the next like couple months, do I stay here or do I go? Because they were not prioritizing me, which means I'm not going to prioritize them.
Period.
You treat your employees how you want them to treat you. So if they're not going to treat me with respect, I'm not going to treat them with respect. So I said bye.
Period.
I started working for a moving company. And that was another experience, but they were a little bit more flexible. And, you know, through that time, I was just working and it was a while until I booked another thing, but, you know, you just work. And then I stopped working for them because they stopped giving me shifts. So I don't really know, like, what happened with that. But then I started working for, like, a party company, and that was fun. Last April through, I want to say, June, I was working a lot, like in the industry. It was like I was like on a roll. I was booking things one after the other. I did a big like fall fashion campaign for Walmart, and I was really into curve modeling. And obviously through that whole time, like there's struggle. There's, you know, when I worked for the moving company, me and my boyfriend had just gotten our first apartment, and then things fell through within 6 months. So then we had to figure out where we were going to live and whatever. Like the living in LA is insane. And that's all I'm going to say on that because that's so stressful. And that's where, you know, we're going to get back to that right now. So obviously, you know, how life has it, so much things like go on. And then after last June, I really didn't book anything. Like, I don't know what happened. It just like really slowed down. And I did fall into a really big depression because something that happened. And that's on that. And it's okay to like go through a season like that where you're not happy, you know, like, but it's about how you recover from that.
Period.
And I'm still recovering from that. That was a long time. I want to say like what, July through literally this February. Like I didn't start healing until I went to Oregon for 2 months in December through January. And I want to say January is when I started like really healing from that big depression. And yeah, so things are always happening. And there's so many times where I wanted to give up and I just wanted to go, like, just go back to Oregon, I guess, and do whatever and just not even. I was just lost. I don't even. I'm like lost right now. I don't even know what to say. Like, I never want to settle. I never want to be like, because event planning was, you know, that was something that I was looking forward to before I got accepted into the school that I did. But I never want to settle for event planning because that's not something that drives me. That's not something that makes me want to get out of bed every morning. And so that above all was the most important thing. And so I've really stuck through with it, and I've done everything I can to stay in LA with the help of my boyfriend and Lily. Like they are literally cheerleaders. My friend Celia as well. Shout out to her. Like they push me and they always remind me when I'm on that brink of like I need to go, like I'm just done. Like they push me and they remind me like why I'm here and what I'm doing. And so yeah, so fast forward to now. We're in a pandemic and we were living with my boyfriend's parents, you know, in LA. I don't think I've ever met anyone that like lives on their own, especially if you're not in your career, meaning like if you're not already a lawyer or if you're not already a doctor, you know, like you just don't, there's like no way, like you can't afford it. So we were staying with his parents. It was a good deal. His parents have lived in that house for 20 years and the owners decided they were going to sell it. So we were like, well, what do we do? Yes, we know we could fight. That's a whole other story. It's a fight that we lost with his parents. They didn't know their rights. They didn't understand their rights. So they were just whatever.
Yeah.
That being said, that happened. And then we got the opportunity to rent a back house from his friend. And we are very grateful for the amount of time that we were able to stay there for. We stayed there for, I want to say, almost 2 months. which isn't very long, but through that 2 months, we did get a lot of stuff done, and that's 2 months that we didn't have to sleep on the side of the road.
Okay.
So I am grateful for that. I'm just like not very happy with like the outcome, you know, like how everything kind of ended and how we weren't even told that we had to leave. It was kind of just like we were given the cold shoulder and people were passive, and that's my biggest pet peeve. I will stand by what I say all the time. Own your shit. Don't be petty, don't be passive, just literally own your shit. Like, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. So we had literally 3 days to figure out what we were gonna do, where we were gonna go. And we do have a dog, and I'm a dog mom. Like, I don't care how dumb I sound, I am a dog mom to the fullest. Like, I love her, she's my baby. I'm not putting her down, I'm not getting rid of her, no. Where we're staying at now, they do not like our dog. Not even they don't like her, they just won't get the chance to know her. They just think that, you know, all dogs are aggressive and whatever, which she's not, like, at all. She's an old lady, like, she's not aggressive at all. Like, she will be around kids and she's fine. We're literally taking her on an Oregon road trip next week.
Yes.
Which I'm so excited for. Shout out to that.
This bitch is coming to Oregon.
Yes.
Little pause. You guys, we have a secret episode coming to you.
Yes.
On the last Monday of this month. Stay tuned. Okay, anyways, continue.
So yeah, we're gonna take her to a winery and everything. So that kind of tells you about Sadie. Like, she's not a bad dog, she's not aggressive, like, she's a lover, not a fighter. They just won't give her a chance. And so that's already like a big thing. Like, they don't want her inside the house. They want us to turn our dog that was raised inside to an outside dog. And anyone that owns a dog knows that that's very hard to do. And also, I don't want my dog to get fleas, and I don't want her to, like, get arthritis because of the cold. She already has bad joints, whatever. That's a whole other story. So my whole thing is, like, if you're going to turn my dog into an outside dog, if she gets fleas or arthritis, like, that's a bill that you can help pay, because that's going to be something, right, that gets put on us. And then we left the last place 2 days ago because of not feeling welcomed and just not wanting to be in an environment where we don't feel like we belong or that we are wanted there. And now we're in this new place where it kind of feels the exact same.
Yeah.
All of our stuff is still outside. We are slowly talking about a storage situation, and then we have to sleep in the living room, which is fine. Like I said, it's better than sleeping on the side of the road.
Period.
But we are next to train tracks, and so a train goes by legit every 30 minutes all night, every night. And so the first night, like last night was the second night, no sleep. I'm probably running on like a full 6 hours of sleep within the last 2 days, and I've worked both days like between that. So this is where the therapy session came to mind. Last night after work, it's like 10 o'clock. I was just exhausted and I was just overwhelmed with everything that's going on, and then just being at work, being around all that energy and everything, and just being tired. I called my best friend and I cried. I screamed and I cried. I felt so good. It was great. And she really just, you know, gave me advice and just talked me through it and was like, honestly, like cheering me up, being my cheerleader, telling me all this amazing stuff.
If you're confused, I'm the best friend, okay?
Yes. Imagine I was like, no, I called you after.
Yeah, bitch, I would hang up on you so quick. I would literally hang up right now and just, I'd come over there and stab you in the throat. I just want you to know that if you ever try me like that, I will fucking kill you.
Got it. But, yeah. So I was on a high. I was, like, feeling good. I get home, and my boyfriend gets in my car, and he's like, I'm about to ruin your day. And I was like, what happened? So the agreement is that Sadie could sleep in the house at night when we go to bed. Mm-hmm. So I guess while I was at work, everyone sat down with Edgar, which is my boyfriend, and told him that the rule is no dogs allowed at all. Like, no dogs in the house at all. Not at night, not ever. That's the rule. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Which it's like, okay, it's your house, your rules. I get that. Why didn't you tell us that before we came?
Yeah.
Because they knew that if we knew that, we would have done anything to like figure out something else to do.
Yeah.
And so already I was like, are you serious? Like, not even to sleep. She slept on her bed. She didn't get up. Nothing. Like, she literally just stood by us the whole night. No problems. That's why I think I'm most confused, because I'm like, she literally didn't do anything to be told like she couldn't be inside.
Right.
Whatever. So I was just like, I felt so bad. And you know, I do live in LA, but it has been cold. Shade was raised here. Like, she's used to 90-degree weather, not like 50-degree weather. And like I said, she's older. So it just makes me sad to like have to think of her sleeping outside all night. And so, you know, we're trying to figure something out with that. It just gets to a point where I was, you know what? I'm ready to pack my bags and we're moving to Oregon, just in spite of everything that's happening, just so everyone can see like we're serious. Like, Shade's part of our family. Like,
Yeah.
we want to go somewhere where we feel like we're welcomed and where we can at least put our stuff inside. And I don't even know, just like I was done. Like, I'm ready to like have a home, and I feel like I can't get that in LA right now. Like, I feel like everything's so expensive, and we're gonna get an apartment, but that's not gonna be for like what, another 2 months, because
Yeah.
you have to have your first and last month's rent and be able to like prove that you can pay for the apartment.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was just overwhelmed and exhausted, and I still feel like that. And you know, like Lily said last night, I just need to take it day by day, and that's what I'm trying to do. Last night, I was definitely at what I would consider a breaking point,
Yeah.
where I was ready to just. I When I say give up on acting, I don't mean give up on my dream, but
Mhm.
to make my dream work, like, this is where I need to be. These last couple days, I have had to keep reminding myself that if I move anywhere else right now, if I make that rash decision based off of anger and sadness, then I'm going to regret it. And I don't
Yeah.
want to regret it. And I was telling Lily last night, I literally felt like I have been crying for the last 2 days, just because I am a sensitive ass bitch and
Period.
overwhelmed, tired, wanting a home, whatever. But what makes it all worth it is at the end of the day, when I curl up in bed next to my boyfriend Edgar and he puts his arm around me, that's when I just know. And I know how cheesy that sounds, but that's when I know like everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. To know that amongst everything that's happening to you, like, you're not going through it alone. Like, he's going
Mm-hmm.
through it with you.
Yeah.
He's there to support you. You guys are each other's support system. And I think something that people don't realize is a lot of things we go through in our life, especially like not having a home and like financial issues, those things we usually go through by ourselves, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what makes us super overwhelmed. So I think in your case, to know at the end of the day that when they're there with you, going through it with you, and gonna fight till the end of it with you, like,
Mm-hmm.
that is the only motivation you need.
Yes, that is very true. And
Very.
it is very nice having that and knowing that. And like I said, I'm very grateful for that. Um, and just to see how far we've come as a couple, like, we've been through like the worst of the worst, but we've also been through the best of the best. I remember telling him the other night, I want to go home. And that was kind of sad, because it's like, he was like, where's that?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess, you know, we'll keep you updated on when we find a home, but that's very
Yeah.
important. And I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that because it's embarrassing. And did I think about, like, do I want to share this? Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's very vulnerable to come out and say, like, I don't have a place of my own, you know?
Yeah.
I like to look like I have all my shit together, and I don't want people to know I struggle. Like, I let my bestest friends know, but that's
Yeah.
it. Like, I don't tell everybody else.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people, especially our age, like 19 through 25, a lot of us deal with that. A lot of us deal with having to like stay with family members, or having to have roommates and not our own place, and having to share our privacy and our space with other people. And I just feel like we don't talk about it a lot. And I think that
Mm-mm.
it's time to kind of normalize like helping each other in that sense, where it's, if
Yeah.
you need a place to stay, my door's open to you. My home will be your home.
Yeah.
And I will always, once I have my place, that's how it will always be. I don't care I don't care. Like my home's open to you just because I know what it's like to not have one.
Exactly. That's on period.
If you can relate to that at all, let me know. If you feel like you are reaching your breaking point with like is my goal enough to keep me like doing this? And because trust me, I've been uncomfortable for a long time. And you know, I feel like I've been on this pattern where it's like things will be really, really good and then it'll be really, really bad. And I'm trying to get to that point in my life where things are just good, you know, and maybe we have a rock here or there. And I feel like that's coming. I can feel that. And I feel
Yes.
for me, like things are starting to align and get better. And that's great. But you just have to keep that faith and like keep going. But if you're at your breaking point right now, this message is for you. I'm like getting emotional like thinking about it. But like keep going because you started for a reason.
Oh, my heart.
Sorry.
No, don't say sorry.
I'm so tired.
Yeah.
But you started for a reason, and at the end of the day, like when you get that, when you reach that one goal or that one little thing, it will all make it worth it. And there's going to be little things that happen for you where it will like check you back in, and you'll be like, this is why I do what I do. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And one day it will all make sense on why you're going through what you're going through. So just keep going.
Yes. And along with my best friend over here, I just want to say, along with what Sadie just said, you are a bad bitch. Whoever you are, wherever you are in this fucking life, I think the one thing that keeps us going, and I feel like I can speak this for Sadie as well, that you have to look at your future self. You have to see her or him or whoever. You have to see that person and know that is you. Start start visualizing that person as you. Because when you're going through the midst of it, everything is falling apart. And I've been there so many times in different ways. For me, it was financially. I've been dragged through the mud this year, and amongst it all, I still look at my future and I still say, you know what? I may have 25 cents in my bank account. But I know one day I won't. I know one day that everything I'm working on, that all the struggles, all the tears in my bed at night with myself, all the tears on the phone call with my best friend, all the breakdowns driving down the road, it will all be worth it.
Yeah.
So like Sadie said, if you're going through a struggle right now, just keep going. Just keep going, keep going. If you fall down, get the fuck up and keep going. If you scrape your knee, get the fuck up and keep going. Do not quit, because you are the only person fighting for your dream.
Yep.
And other people can support you. Other people can fight with you and cheer you on and be your cheerleader, like I am to Sadie and she is to me. But it's your life and you need to fight for it until your last breath. You need to be willing. If this dream is your fucking dream and all you want to see is yourself live that dream, you have to be willing to die for that dream. Oh, and this is what I wanted to say. You need to put yourself into the mindset that there is only plan A. There is no plan B. There's no plan C. There's no plan D. There's no backup plan. There's no what ifs. There's none of that. That doesn't exist.
I love what Denzel Washington said. If you have a plan B, you're not giving 150% to plan A.
Exactly.
And that's where people fail, because
exactly.
if you want plan A to succeed, you have to be all in. And if you have a plan B, boo boo,
You're not
not all in.
You have exactly. And I think for me it was really hard. I was a person who was like, okay, I'm going to do this, but if this doesn't work out, then I'm going to do this. Or I'm going to do this. If this isn't what I want anymore, then I'm going to go to this. And I would always be jumping from one thing to another, and I never felt I was going somewhere. I always felt like I was going down small roads and it wasn't leading me to where I wanted to go, until I got to the point where in my head I said, no, you have one goal. You have one life you want to live. You have one purpose you want to execute in this life. And you will not get there if you keep thinking of what ifs, what ifs. Stop living your life in what ifs. Because for me, when I grow up and I look back at my past, I don't want to say, what if I did that? I want to say, you know what, I did that, it didn't work out, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
It's something else. I rather risk it all and then find out that it didn't work out, but it led me to what did work out, than to be like, you know what, I wanted to do that, but I didn't do it because I was too scared.
Yeah.
Stop letting your fear control you. Fear is not a bad thing either. Fear is there to protect you. Like, that's why you're scared of things, because your mind wants to protect you, or your heart wants to protect you. But you have to see fear as, okay, I appreciate you being there to protect me, but like, step aside, because I'm not scared. I'm not scared to do it.
And you also have to like sometimes not listen to your ego, because your ego can get in the way. And Lily was saying that's your survivor mode like kicking in. It's something that's trying to protect you, you know? Going off of everything, you know, that we just talked about, think about it this way. As far as we know right now, whether you have different beliefs or not, this is the one life that we're living. This is the one life that we are currently living.
Mm-hmm.
And why waste it doing something that you don't love, or doing something that you don't care about?
Yeah.
Why waste it waking up every morning hating and dreading life? Like, why do that? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we were saying earlier, you have to be willing to love the thing that you do enough to keep going.
Yes.
Like right now, like I'm literally recording this podcast in my car because this is something that I have prioritized, Lily has prioritized. And I was telling Lily the other day, I'm ready to start doing the things that I love and having it pay for my life. You know what I mean? That means doing the podcast, working on my blog more, creating more, maybe writing a script, putting myself out there to agents and managers and stuff like that, because those are things that I prioritize and I want to do. Like, those things drive me, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I will take the extra mile and do it. Like, am I the most comfortable in my car right now? No, it's like 75 degrees outside and I can't just like sit with my AC on. But I am willing to do, like, I don't care. Like, I will do this every single day if I have to, because it's something that I love doing. And whether there's 3 of you listening or 0 of you, 1 of you, like, I don't care. I really don't care. It's the process of doing what we're doing that makes it worth it for me anyways. I also want to say, I was thinking about what my dad told me when I went home during my whole like depression thing, where I had this, I was doing this thing on my Instagram where I would post like a motivational quote. And he was like, you know, I see you posting these quotes, but these are people that are speaking and they're already successful. They're already successful people. They already have everything that they want, everything that they've ever wanted to achieve, things like that. So it's easy for them to say things like that.
Yeah.
You're hearing it from 2 women that are in the midst of making their dreams a reality and going out and achieving their goals. Is it easy for us to sit here and tell you to keep going? Fuck no, because it's not easy.
It's not.
And
it's a fucking roller coaster.
Right. It's like one of those things that it's easier said than done. And I could sit here and tell you to keep going until I'm blue in the face, but only you know how hard that is.
Period.
For yourself. So keep that in mind. Be that cheerleader. You don't have to be successful to be other people's cheerleaders. You don't have to be where you want to be to give other people advice, or to just say, like, keep going, like, you got this.
Yes.
So we're here to remind you that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Even though that we haven't completely seen it yet, we know there's light at the end of the tunnel.
We know it's there.
And we're all going to keep going together. And that's on the Please Say It Again crew. Like, we are
that's
here.
On Please Say It Again.
That's on Please Say It Again. And we will be your cheerleader if you don't have cheerleaders in your life. And we're here telling you, bitch, keep going. You got this.
That's on period, guys. All that is so true. And I 100% can back it up. So yeah, I hope you guys liked our little therapy session, and we really want to do this again and come at you with the rawest of raw and the feelings and everything. So if you guys like this episode, please, please, please like it if you're streaming on YouTube, or go on our Instagram and follow us. Go to our TikTok and follow us. And stay tuned because we have some exciting things coming.
We do. Oh my gosh.
And we're so excited to share them. It feels like so crazy because these are things that we are so passionate about. And we know that someone out there needs to be a part of this. And so, yes, please follow us on all our social media platforms, and wherever you're listening, thank you for always supporting us.
Yes. And get ready, because in a week from now, me and Lily will be together, which means we will be popping off.
Yeah.
So get ready for that. We're so excited.
Get ready for our special episode.
Yes.
Coming at you. Oh my God, guys, this is going to be such a good one. And then I think that day we might announce something else.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Keep listening to us.
Yes.
And again, I cannot say thank you enough. Like, tell your friends about us. If you know someone who needs to hear this shit, please send us their way.
Yeah.
Okay? We love you guys so much.
We do.
And thank you for listening. Please say it again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great week. And thanks for joining me on my therapy session. And next we'll be hearing from Lily. So, all right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yo.